Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Do you remember that time where you had that big idea to change the world? I hope after what I share, you will go out and make that a reality. Hi there, my name is Soraya Fouladi. I'm the founder and CEO of Jara. Our goal is to scale quality education to some of the most vulnerable communities out there, such as post-disaster zones, refugee camps, and more. And we're doing this through an innovation we're co-creating alongside these communities. This is the Jara unit. It's a crank-powered, solar-powered education device, and we're designing it to be able to teach children any content in any language, anytime, anywhere. Thank you. We're starting with Nepal and scaling globally from there. In 2015, Nepal suffered a massive earthquake, displacing millions of children from the classroom. Since then, 65% of children in Nepal are failing national exams. Very few permanent schools have been reconstructed, and this post-disaster issue, unfortunately, is not unique to Nepal. In the past 30 years, 300 regions that have been hit by natural disaster have not had their infrastructure rebuilt. And with the increase of climate change, there will be an increase of climate disasters, which is going to result in more children displaced from the classroom. The education crisis is massive. 262 million children today are out of school, and 1 billion children are in poverty. That's about 1 in 2 children without access to a quality education today. It is affecting not just our youth, but the future of humanity. What's going to happen to this earth when the majority of people on this planet do not have access to an education? We need to focus on this education crisis to solve our global issues. And this is something that I realized when I was in high school. I had the complete honor and such a lucky chance at attending the United Nations International School, which is a K-12 school that's down the block from here. I was so lucky that the United Nations here was my playground. I learned from a very young age about modern day issues, about famine, modern day slavery, poverty, eventually climate change, and so much more. And when I was in high school, I wanted to figure out how, with this one life I have, how can I make the biggest impact possible so that people today and the people in the future can live an empowered life that we all deserve. Right now, I want to talk more about us as youth and why our voices are important. The education crisis is huge, and it's terrifying. And so is a lot of what is going on today. And I have 100% belief that we can solve it, all of it. If we don't believe we can solve these humanity-defining issues, then what is there to believe in? If we want to rebuild our communities, we need to listen to youth and ensure our voices are heard and make sure our ideas are empowered. Communities survive through investments in the next generation. And that's where education comes in. And that's why we have committed our lives to solving this crisis. Our generation has access to the most data and technology humanity has ever seen, which also means that we are awakened to the painful realities of this world, the massive inequalities and human rights violations. The extreme amount of data we have access to and the power of technology has enabled our generation to become some of the best researchers out there. When any of us have a question or a problem to solve, we can find a solution quicker than most generations were ever able to in the past. We need to come together and use this superpower to heal our broken world. We also must ensure we see the wisdom in those before us and learn as much from them as possible so that we can co-create create more ethical solutions to heal our planet. We at Jara know that to make a world-changing shift, we need the world at the table. From the community members, such as the children, families, parents, teachers, and more, to the large corporations, to the governments, to the NGOs, and so much more. Large-scale system changes require the world at the table. Us youth, we care not just about our lives, but those who are going to come after us. We care about those we know and don't know. We all care. If you have an idea to change the world, do it. Start talking about it. Mark the impact you want to have and say it by saying it out loud. And go do everything in your power to get the resources and people alongside of you to make it happen. The world doesn't have time to wait. People's lives won't wait. If you want to change the world and don't have an idea yet, join an initiative that is already doing so or on its way to doing so. We at Jara are always looking for new team members, new volunteers to join us, so please reach out or talk to me after. Even when there are storms outside, like today, that doesn't stop any of us. We all showed up today. We are here. And we show up every day to change the world. The time is now for the world to listen to us, to listen to the youth. We need to start not just a revolution, but an evolution. The evolution to the world listening to us, the youth, as the solutioneers. Why? We see what's happening. We see that the world is in pain. And we know how to be resourceful and do everything in our power to make a difference. And also we have hope, something many others have unfortunately lost. Let's turn our hope into action. Remember the time you asked yourself, what if I did something big? Well, the time is now. Let your imagination of a better world become reality. That's our superpower. I believe in a world of dignity, empowerment, and agency for all, and that starts with us. Will you join the evolution? Thank you.